what do we have left to do? The rendezvous point was set for the Xenos. Not to be a trap, the road trader must return to the doors immediately to regroup and clarify the situation. Okay, so I accidentally went to that, so that's chapter 1. We have something left in that? The hunting for something certain is happening to the choir master. Okay, so we need to go to the astropathic choir this way. I am gonna be heading back down to Footstone though, or Footfall. Hey, hey, buddy. Is there are there people screaming in your fucking ear? Boop, boop. Everything here is just kind of just weird. An unpleasant heaviness grows in your head as a vice word slowly tightening its grip on your mind. The choir master is kneeling, his burnt out eyes peering into the void. He raises his head, and you see a weary old man. Weak and frightened, he whispers, "She is here. Adeline has returned. She is asking for help, but you scare her. She is hiding from you. You will not harm her, will you?" From every direction, every shadow comes playful, girlish laughter. At times it transforms into old man's rueful weeping, at other times into a deep growl of annoyance. The sounds from cold malice words, "The sorrow will be eternal. We all take damage." Stormful laughter touches the sinister whisper, "Sorrow? To perceive corruption is a triumph. For once, for once you perceive it, you can eradicate it. Cower, blasphemous spawn! I hear your voice, and I will follow the trail." I'll find your Adeline and bring her out into the light. How do I find Adeline? She is here, in the shadows. A tortured sigh escapes his feeble lips. Many shadows lie. The true ghosts are hiding among the false ones. But I hear Theodore's earnest prayer, an ode, Stavros' words of disappointment. He always doubted my talents as a mentor. What's going on here? Wade says nothing, his otherworldly gaze. I'll find her, bring her into the light. The shadow tripped hoarsely in the old man's voice. Why do you seek his redemption? He was always a terrible leader and countless mentor. He doomed everyone. The, in- the indignant tremble rose into a roar of righteous condemnation. He was arrogant. Having no notion of his own wretchedness, he did not put his faith in the Emperor, but instead believed himself to be invincible. The voice grows weaker. It is now a young man soft and full It is now a young man, soft and full of anguish. And he paid for this mistake with our lives. It was cruel and painful. The voice grows heavy with a metallic claim. We begged him to reconsider, but he took our minds away as punishment. The shadow's speech is now gentler and more feminine. But we were loyal to his regard. But we were loyal to him regardless. We tried to save him, even though he had not saved us. The voice becomes cold, resonant in sorrow. From beyond the words, he is guilty.
I always keep my options open.
Ooh. Maybe that's something right here. You would never banish the sorrow. Spend no more time on the aberration rotator. It has already revealed its truth. Here.
I'm still standing. Just barely.
I am your shadow.
Go to here.
There
Boop.
is life in you yet. Use it wisely.
I won't forget
Though I
this.
gave thee my blood and my pain, thou hast
Injuries will
ordained
not
that
slow
I shall live. I will mend the thread between body and soul.
We function as one.
There
Boop.
is life in you yet. Use it wisely.
Your assistance is much
Another
appreciated.
step, another thread.
Right here. I found something. That is.
Just need to tough it out.
Claudio, O Prince of Pleasure, I entrust you with my puny soul and beseech. God fucking damn it, dude.
Blood is my life. Death is my duty. I will mend the thread between body and soul.
I'll make sure to return the favor one day.
Do you think my body was suffering? Your time has not yet come.
Ministration is a holy task.
There is life in you yet. Use it wisely.
Integrity factor
Your
increased.
time has not yet come.
You have my thanks.
Here. That emperor is a lie. The astronomiton is a lie. We are all going to perish. Over to here. That emperor protect us from the horrors of the Imperium. Shield us. I did not give up my life and energy willing. He took control of my will. He made me drain myself dry. When during my life it felt so sweet, oh so sweet duty.
Keep your wits about you.
Over here. I gladly give my last to you, teacher.
I'm still
Ow.
standing. Just barely.
Be heard. I will mend the thread between body and soul.
I owe you a debt.
You cannot trick death.
Take it
It will
all the
claim
way
you
down.
one day. There is life in you yet. Use it wisely.
The
I
healing
will
is much
mend
appreciated.
the thread between body
Should
and
just be running
soul.
off one person figuring this out.
Hand of the healer.
There is life in you yet. Use it wisely.
I needed that.
This one I'm pretty sure. Or a failure of a teacher, you had nothing. Was the God Emperor one over here? This one, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so we know it's not that one. Did not give up my life and energy willingly. He took control of my will. Alright, so that one was right. Stop. My bullying teacher, please stop. Alright, so no matter how far away we are, we still take the damage. Find her, bring her to the light. It's this one. This one.
Death whispers my name.
Fuck, I got that wrong. Up to you. Here.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
There. You?
A
Oh?
broken blade has no use.
Ah. I see. Boop. Boop. Boop.
Is there money to be made?
There. Here. Sweet duty. Pretty sure it's this one. It's you. Stop, my mind is boiling. Teacher, please stop. That one did not work. No, please, teacher, anything but that. Better to kill me. Alright. Let us tell him for the glory of the dark gods. He cannot stand against us alone. Master, please wake up. I'm here. I'm by your side. Banish the ghost. The ghost stares at Wise mournfully. The muffled sobs coming from the apparition almost seem to take physical form as it drifts towards the choir master and envelops him. Wise blots your path, extends his arms and his jet in a gesture that both calls for restraint and a plea for mercy. Don't harm her, please. The poor girl is frightened to death. Let me talk to her. I cannot fail her again. I order you to banish the warp spawn. Idling is dead, so are the rest of them. Live with your guilt. Do not let it consume you. Ashraf, remember the golden radiance of Zodiac Solitaire. Remember your own oaths. He wants you to be steadfast. Wise expression is a mixture of pain, horror, and grief. He lowers his arm slowly. I know, your lordship. I know this is not Adeline, but an echo of the one who devoured her soul. I just wanted to see her again, hear her voice again for a brief moment. With jerky movements as though shaking off shackles of ice, he picks up his staff. Ghost of my failure, now is your time to vanish. Bop. Breathing is labored. Thank you, your lordship. The burden was too heavy for me to bear. On the verge of fainting, he musters the last of his strength and sits down on the steps. Are you all right? After a long silence, he says in a hollowed voice, in a bodily sense, yes, your lordship. What was that, choir master? A reckoning, Lord Captain, a reckoning of my great arrogance. Demons have been pursuing me for years, following my scent, sending me dire messages, hunting me, and now they have me. The entities that manifested here during the ritual vanished, but a lingering echo of their presence has latched onto the shadows. It has sprouted in the darkness and poured upon my mind, and pounced upon my mind. Why are demons pursuing you? I am guilty. I wronged them. I had been promised a great fortune at the not much, man. How you doing, McLovin? At the Stalastia Psychana. For my talents were exceptional, but fate would not have it, and instead of serving the Holy Terra, I ended up here in the Expanse, where barely a gleam of the Astronomica reaches. My pride took a heavy blow. My spirit was not cowed. I'm about to assemble a choir unlike any yet seen here. A mighty resonant, astounding choir. Lady Theodora had spent tremendous resources bargaining with captains and governors to procure astropaths of my choosing. I brought together my talents and budding geniuses. Under my authority, they were to ensure I would make a triumphant comeback. I still haven't played Once Human. I need to play that game. That's the one that, no, I'm thinking of, Detroit Become Human. That's the one I'm thinking of. And they could do that for me. And, I played the DLC, like the bought DLC portion. I got all the way up to where you go through the all the AI bullshit, which was pretty obvious at the start. Um, I mean, I enjoyed it. As a massive Dune fan and someone who's read like 95% of the books, I enjoyed going through and fucking with some AI, like, and the D&D AI fucking mission really fucking hit with me, so I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was a lot of fucking fun. I still haven't done any of the Murder and Aratine parts of the update. I mean, I bought the largest I bought the biggest fucking package for Dune, so I cannot say if it was worth it or not until the end of that. If the next DLC is absolutely fucking massive and like completely game changing, adding new areas in the deep desert that we can go to, and shit like that, then it might be worth it. Like again, at the package we bought into, nope, they never did my shit back. But at the same time, I'm kind of sitting there like, I kind of enjoyed the grind. Am I pissed I never get my shit back? Yeah, I'm annoyed about that. It made me not play the game for about a month, just out of annoyance. But at the same time, I find the core gameplay loop fun. If you're at the level of the shit that I had, and you can still rebuild it fast if you had a guild. And dude, I'm so grateful you told me. Like, honestly, like, it let me save a lot of my shit. And through I lost more through my annoyance than I lost through, like, actually getting my base rated. Because through my annoyance of getting my base rated, I lost my fucking carry-all, which was the biggest pain in the dick. Out of everything in my base, that was the biggest pain in the dick, and I saved it after you told me, and I fucking, out of my own arrogance and annoyance, I let that fucker die. So I forgot to check up on my buddy's fucking base after, because he's in the process of, like, moving between places. So he's unable to check in on his own shit, so I kind of took over his base. So out of my own arrogance and annoyance, I lost my own carry-all. And that's the biggest pain in the dick about it. But again, back on the main point. Yeah, yeah, again, I can't even be pissed at anyone besides myself for that. But back on the main point, with the level we bought into the game, we, in my opinion, like I personally, you can have your own opinion on this. Me personally, I can't make a final opinion on whether or not buying that tier of the game was worth it until they stop supporting that tier that we bought. The moment they come out with a season pass 2, like this game did, I bought this game at the highest tier possible. Short of getting the fucking figure that came with it with the physical like highest tier, I bought this game at the highest tier possible. There is a season 2 game pass, not game pass, but season pass for this game. That's annoying as fuck. When I paid over $100, I paid like $130 some odd dollars for this game, and the fact that I don't get the full fucking DLC path for this, that pisses me off. But I also love Owlcat game storytelling, so I keep playing the fucking games. I own both Pathfinder games and this, and I bought them all at the highest level, and it pisses me off, but I love how Owlcat tells stories, so I'm going to keep playing their games. But with Dune, if they were to come out with it where it's like, hey, you bought this at the highest tier, but we're going to release a like DLC season pass tier 2, I stopped playing it the same way I played fucking Tarkov when they brought out the highest tier when they said they weren't going to do that. Like, go fuck yourself, eat a dick. 5,000 Milan sitting there, no need for it. And see, I've never hit that. I've played like 95% of the time solo. Like, my clan is me and my fucking best friend, and that is it. So, and we maybe did like 3-4 weeks of deep desert crap before we just kind of like sat there. Yeah. Like 3 people though, like if you're like in like if you're all diving deep desert and not just doing other bull crap too. So I was my guys I was the farmer basically. Yeah, we never got to having the crawler rolling. We had to carry all done. We were working on the crawler. Then the shit happened. Then he started moving and it was like couldn't really get through it. I want to get through it. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get everything fucking built up at some point. It just depends. But again, back to the main point. Like, the moment Dune announces, like, hey, we're releasing a fucking Season Pass Part 2, I'm fucking done. I'm gonna step away from the game. Like, alright, I'm never buying a game at the highest tier again. Like, fuck off. And that pisses me off. Because, like, Owlcat right now is working on, like, the next evolution of their 40k fucking title. I got hopes too. I hope we bought into a good thing and there's gonna be like 2-3 years of paid DLC that we get access to. Like Owlcat right now is working on there is a 40k game. I don't know how familiar you are with 40k McLovin. But in Road Trader, you're playing as a road trader who is as far as an inherited title goes, this is the best you can get. You can do whatever the fuck you want, basically, as long as the Inquisition isn't involved. Their next one is Dark Heresy, which Dark Heresy is a tabletop RPG that I wish still got support. Because, oh my god, is it good. Fucking Dark Heresy, you don't play as a road trader. You play as an acolyte of the Inquisition. So there's an Inquisitor above you. Inquisitors are like the highest like law enforcement of the Imperium. Like to the point where an Inquisitor shows up, they assume you're a heretic. You are a planetary governor or a High Lord of Terra. They will just fucking shoot you in the head and cover it up. Like, it's like, yeah, no, I'm mutant shadow. And no one's gonna second guess it. Like, it's no one's gonna second guess it. And as an acolyte of one of those dudes, because basically it goes God Emperor, Adeptus Custodes, the fucking Inquisition, because no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. And then the High Lords of Terra. Like, the Lords of the Inquisition oversee the High Lords of Terra. It's fucking nuts. And in their next game, you don't play as an acolyte of an Inquisitor. So you have the High Inquisitors, then you have the Inquisitors, then you have Interrogators, then you have fucking acolytes, and it keeps going down to the point of essentially a dude who lives in the bat fucking sewer is informing this dude, who's informing this dude, who's informing this dude, who's informing this dude, like, hey, we're gonna go fucking burn this entire town to the ground because one dude said there's a demon there, and just fuck that shit. It's so good. I love 40k. I absolutely adore it. And they could do that for me. The team of brilliant astropaths whose talents were honed to perfection, Adeline, Anis, Atonis. Every one of them surpassed myself as I used to be. I saw that my time was coming, and I lied. When I told you that it was Lady Theodora who forced us to go through the ritual, the idea had been mine. When in her paranoia, her ladyship set out to find spies aboard the ship, I made her an offer, a ritual that would give her the names in exchange for the fledgling's freedom, and my own. It was a good deal. She was willing to trade 7 astropaths for the names of traitors, and I doomed them all. My pride killed them. If you're not familiar with 40k, astro astropaths are basically magic users in 40k are known as psychers. Astropaths are a specific form of psyker who can communicate over light years of galaxy. There are also navigators who are adjacent to astropaths who can see the light of the astronomiton, which is basically a lighthouse on Earth that can be seen from anywhere in the universe. And astropaths can see that, and that's how they guide each other. That's how they guide ships to the warp, which the warp is a here's real space, here's the warp. It's just an alternate reality below real space, and it's directly impacted by the emotions of real space. So anger, ecstasy, lust, greed, death, decay, all that just feeds into the warp, creating the warp gods. There's 4 of them. They don't matter at this moment. But psychers are magic users, and if they tap into the warp is full of demons. In essence, all magic is demonic and has the chance of the astropath the psyker turning into a a gate into hell, which demons can pour through. So astropaths are highly regulated, and if they are not able to be controlled, they're instantly fucking killed. And when they are found, they are shoved into a thing called a black ship, which has millions of astropaths on it. And it is think of each black ship as Auschwitz without the furnace. Or the chambers. Just cages. You die in the cage, you stay in the cage. And you hope the fucking god they don't choose to vent your corridor. My pride killed them. What went wrong during that ritual? He chuckles bitterly, and the starlit stains bloom on the blindfold made of sacred manuscripts. Like, if you look at this motherfucker, his eyes are burned out from staring into the warp. That's why he has those bands over him. And the electrical impulses are probably a literal, like, not an artistic rendering, probably a literal rendering of him just having, like, sparks flying off, because psychers are fucking terrifying. The shit in the background, though, is just all fucking artistic license. The only psychers you only get, like, a actual, like, physical, like, disdain towards, like, when they get near you feel nauseous, are gnolls, which gnolls are like anti-psychers. Psychers burn extremely brightly in the warp because their soul is so fucking powerful that it just like illuminates the warp, and they're able to draw that into themselves. Whereas a gnoll is if a strong psyker is a sun, a gnoll is a black hole. A gnoll is a black hole in real space towards the warp. The closer a gnoll gets to a psyker, the more the psyker grows weaker, and sometimes will just go straight up fucking insane. Like, a lot of the times, if a gnoll is like a strong enough gnoll, they just cancel out all psychic presence near them. Like, psychers can't even use their powers. Most gnolls are just straight up immune to psychic powers. Like, say I can't show you my psycher's abilities, but he has like a molten laser beam fucking ability that he can use. or fucking just like light you on fire ability, that would not work on a gnoll. Like he'd go to cast it on them, and he would see the beam like for the melt the beam one. He'd see it shoot towards them, but the moment it got within like let's say 3 meters, so 9 feet, the moment it got within like 9 feet of that gnoll, it would just fucking just, like sizzle out into nothing. It would just fucking fairy dust. No longer exists because the warp cannot affect the gnoll. It's fucking nuts, and I love Warhammer just because of how fucking stupid some of this shit is like that. He chuckles bitterly, and scarlet stains bloom on the blindfold and made the manuscript. Adelaine was my ritual protector, only to become my greatest vulnerability. When the mad stream of other people's thoughts started to disorient my astropaths, I became frightened of her. I hesitated, I wanted to spare her, and I lost control. The right thing to do would have been to sacrifice her, but I couldn't. I had always had a soft spot for her. My genius had made her my favorite. That's a weird thing to say. What about the other voices? Were they your apprentices as well? Not all of them. Stravos was the oldest in the twire. He had been on the ship even longer than I. Mighty wise. If Atromus, he envied me and critiqued my ambition, and I was fond of him all the same. Thaddeus was the ship's confessor. Thaddeus was insistent on his presence. When it was over, he was the only other survivor, and he confronted me with angry accusations. I could not bear to listen to him, so I silenced him, killed him. Oh, you murdered a fucking confessor. That is a not good look on you, Zachary. Seventus was an ordinary servant. She fought the Immaterium's monsters until the warp began to prevail. She tried to save me, to lead me away. But I did not listen. She stayed at my side until the last moment and died a terrible death, all because of my accursed pride. So what you're saying is I should have shot you at the start, like the game said. Like, this is all your fault. Time to die, bitch. I don't know why I do it like that. I literally have a little mechanism right here. I'll say it's not a gun. There's no barrel. There's no chamber. It is just a locking mechanism. It's a rolling block mechanism. Although, if you go by modern ATF logic, this is the receiver. If you go by AR rules, this is the part that needs the serial stamp. Just as the lower does, which is a weird code of logic. The rest of my voices. Atanas was the youngest. He had been in the twire for only a short while. When the situation was dire, fear got the best of him, and I was infuriated by his weakness. I dominated Atanas' mind and impelled him to use every spark of his life force for the ritual. Annis, so that's two people you murdered straight up. Annis Doom came even earlier. She was the one person who told me in front of the twire that the ritual was madness. In my anger, I ordered her servitorized. So technically that's still two, because as her superior, you can do that in this universe. But morally, from our time period, that's three. I believe I had to protect my authority. She died on the spot where you're standing now. I think she was still alive. More starlit drops seep through the Trier Master's red-stained blindfold. All my voices, I remember the names of each one of them, each one whose life I cut short within these walls. Now I know the truth. I think that gives me a bonus here. 2 years of torment. I cannot give you a new punishment, only forgiveness, and now you must forgive yourself. You've not allowed the work to break you, and I believe the Emperor's light is strong in your soul. Continue your service. That's the one that falls most. No, I forget. We're not a commander general in this one. We're in our BDs. You do not deserve absolution. Your service will continue. I found you guilty and condemn you to death. Forget, we're in our BDs. Down the Toy Master's phase, dissolving what was left of the inscriptions of his time-worn blindfold. Thank you, your lordship. Fuck, he wanted that. Why not let me turn into a servitor? Detachment from death. Allies of the Sass Wielder have their dodge increased by plus willpower bonus. Okay, that's actually pretty fucking good.
I'm restless.
I did not mean to click on you. She also talked to the navigator since, we were somewhat in a relationship with her when she heard up when Jay turned the VOTs on while we were fucking, and everyone kind of heard that shit.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
What did your special sight reveal?
The canvas of Kibella's soul has become a battlefield. I see sparks of acid green doubt giving rise to new shades of regret, pride, and cruelty. They are ruining her former palette of anthracite and scarlet, mixing into ever more murky and frightening colors.
That
I enjoyed your company.
that might have something to do with me, or yeah, no, that probably something with me and not choosing the right dialogue paths to curb her doubt. Because I kind of asked her, hey, you and this fucking traitor kind of look alike, right? When she's a drone sword captain, or Aspects receive numerous transmissions, but no, they're not ordinary messages. Each and every one of them pleads for help to drones reporting the Master Xenos raid, and every mental image transmitted is wreathed in flame. They're hitting my fucking home world. It's an unforeseen event here. Start new worlds. Do this. To here. Reminding themselves, Monkai should direct their gaze to the road around them more often. Okay, so we're finally getting to like the final teleportation part. Hey, Maze, right? Yeah, Maeve, not Maze. Footsteps almost lost. Sandra examines the studied interior, raising her brow in surprise and muttering something to herself in the Eldari tongue. Teach their children that bards and others. What a pleasant surprise to see you here. I had no idea this was your dwelling until I entered it. The Eldari turns her emerald gaze on you. It seems she is completely unfazed by your sudden appearance. On my travel, we all had a simple custom. You may set your foot wherever your path requires. Sacred ground was the only exception to this rule. Is there something sacred to this room, Elentat? Yellow looks around the room. I don't think so. How do you manage to slip past my enforcers? You understand how suspicious looks, yes? I am somewhat surprised, but I am not opposed to such visits. You may come here anytime you like. If you truly did not come here with nefarious intent, then simply apologize for your intrusion. No, you can come anytime you like. Said, do I need permission to do so? But this is your entire world contained within this time allotted, Alantat. Your ship, these chambers. They are but a speck of dust, an island, a temporary shelter in a world that is far bigger and more expansive than... Well, enough of that. Now that you are here, I wish to speak with you about our agreement. I have traveled to the Vale many times inside your steel-winged bird, and every time her voice torments me, trying to drive me mad. Yulit stares at you through unconscious, touching the spirit stone at her chest with a trembling hand. Her whispers fill my ears, and each time I enter the warp's incapacible and incessant poisoning and inflaming every emotion and thought, making them onto trouble. I have learned to shut myself off as best I can, just so that I might have a chance to search for what I have lost. Found everyone we could, Alantat, and all of them were dead. Hopelessness and despair gleams in its eyes, and her voice breaks treacherously. But the thread of fate is broken, and I no longer know how to help my people. I failed to save anyone, and I failed to learn the truth about Trudat's demise. I I have lost my way, and I thought you were the only person on the entire ship who might understand. I was I was not wrong to think so, was I? For a moment, a sad smile flickered on Neelit's face, and her voice rang with agonizing doubt. No matter what, you tried to keep your promise, even if your species loves to stamp out any life, any life form they find undesirable. Did my actions, your stand, got nothing less than what they deserve? Do not give up. You will find what you're looking for. What is this, Alantat? Consolation? What do you... Its words are interrupted by a strange sound familiar to a stifled sigh. Her gaze trained upon something past you. Turning around, you see what has caught her attention. An odd, unsightly shard of porous material mounted on the wall a trophy. An entire kaleidoscope of emotions plays across her face, changing too quickly to catch. She sighs once more, and then her feelings are concealed behind a impenetrable impersonal mask. What is this, Monkai? Neelit's voice sounds unusually cold. It's as though you have cut yourself off from me. What is going on? You're observant, Alantat. How unusual. But there is no need to trouble yourself with conjecture. I have inflicted enough for my unbridled feelings upon you, but I am in control again. Enough of the lingered. How far back can I go on that? it's only one chat I have to make. 1 sec. Let's just go to the bridge. I mean, so let's just tip out to the bridge. Let's just go to the fucking bridge. Last chance is Irene. Back out of here. That's from the Jonas. Grandmaster's trying to determine what exactly the invasion began. That's safe. I thought I did that already. Yeah, we already did this. Oh, forgot we reloaded. Here. I'm trying to see here. Drawing until I entered it. Please do not come here with nefarious intent and simply apologize for intrusion. I'm gonna slip past the enforcers. I know I avoid your kin and their suppressing attention. It was fairly easy to distract a couple of Monkai and slip past them. In your eyes, it nods in understanding. I suppose this is not pleasant news to hear. Not opposed to such fidgets. Already read all that. Do not give up. You'll find what you're looking for. Ha! Strange Shard has been here since the last day of your ascension to the Road Trader's throne. Listen closely, the odd thought nads at your mind. It may be disfigured, but and corroded by some unknown power, but it vaguely resembles Ravestone, a material trapped by the Eldari. Is it a piece of something Eldari? So you do not even care enough to know what objects adorn your dwelling truly? Without a thin, sorrowful sigh, then Kurt cuts herself short, going as still as a statue. Enough, I've lingered here too long for now. Save that. Mm. There's something about this trophy. Inherited this trophy from my predecessor. So that is it. You are proud of the vicious and violent blood, your ignorant true nature. Mm. Come on. Mm. So chapter 2. So I don't think this matters all that much then. We're on Charlie here. Thank you guys for stopping by.